So that leads to, it's not as if, given where we're at now, the Democrats suddenly say, all right, we need another option to exercise, but they have to have a plan B, don't they? I mean, who's the proverbial, bus does a nasty thing, if I'll pose it that way. If that happens tomorrow, who's the contender if suddenly the Democratic nomination is open?
Well, I would say the Vice President, probably, number one, but keep an eye on Gavin Newsom from California. Bear in mind, he debated Ron DeSantis in a off-ticket, off-Broadway event, not contesting the Democratic nomination by any stretch, Gavin Newsom, but there he was going toe-to-toe. And it was held up as a red state versus blue state governor v. governor event. But make no mistake what that was about. I think it was giving the tires a good old kick on Gavin Newsom going up against a potential contender for the Republican nomination. So yes, there are...
I mean, it feels like Kamala Harris might have been a clearer lead before she took the job, right? That's how her performance has been assessed, that she's less likely now, given some of the gas and just her inability, I think, to probably get enough of the base out and also just be a strong enough performer. Is that fair to say?
Look, and let's cut to the chase, Tom. I think when the stakes are as high as they are, if you're a Democrat strategist, right, what are you thinking about? You're thinking about, I'm old enough to remember the 1983 election, where Bill Hayden probably was going to beat Malcolm Fraser, but the Labor hardheads knew that Bob Hawke definitely would beat Malcolm Fraser. And maybe that's the thinking about Kamala Harris. Do we go for the history books with a black woman at the top of the ticket, or do we just let's beat Donald Trump? And that's all that the election has to be about. And I think that's the way a lot of Democrats think about it. And I think that's what speaks to sort of the Newsom candidacy. Should it come to that, Tom? We're deep in hypothetical enter, of course.
Yeah.
I think he's seen as
that's where we like it here. That's where we like it, Simon. It's only ever a couple of things away from being reality. Hey, AUKUS got the tick. I think we were expecting this. Ukraine is a harder sell for Volodymyr Zelensky. How real is the struggle here? He's got to keep concern up. Is it budgetary or is it ideological? Must be what he's sort of wondering right now about trying to get this bill passed to get billions of dollars more for Ukraine.
Yeah, it's both that and it's facts on the ground, Tom. Here's the thing. Putin can outlast the West, particularly the burn of which the West collectively is going through munitions being routed to Ukraine, and Putin's capacity for his people to bear pain versus the West to sustain interest, and the huge budget numbers that attend to modern 21st century weaponry being produced and shipped off quick, smart, and being run down fast in Ukraine. The other thing is there's evidence that Russia is adapting, that some of this high-tech weaponry isn't as effective as it was in the opening months of this war when it was first on the ground. Yeah. And so for Putin, it's a waiting game, and hence in the West, and Joe Biden feels this intently, House Republicans never keen on this, taking cues from Donald Trump to begin with. There is a very generous spend towards Ukraine in the budget, defense budget that just passed, including the AUKUS spend. There's a lot in that. It's $900 billion US worth of spend. But it's a waiting game, and I think the longer this drags on, and this is the problem for Zelensky, can you count on Western public opinion and hence Western dollars and weaponry to be there, not just next year, but perhaps the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that? Yeah. So that's the problem Zelensky faces right now, and it's hard to know because we're going to have this big event, as we were just talking about, the US presidential election.
Yeah, that could be a huge game changer either way. Simon Jackman, always appreciate your time. Thank you.